Welcome to Retire Smart Maryland. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Prashant Sabapathy and Ozzy Koolhagel of Elite Income Advisors. To our viewers at home, this is a very special episode today. We wanted to let you know that this is the 100th episode. That's right, 100th episode of Retire Smart Maryland. I am so excited. Gentlemen, can you believe it? I can, but...
it's been a long road to get here. And Cynthia, you've been with us from the very beginning. So it's been great working with you, and the show has kind of grown to something that we never really thought that it would grow to. So it's been fantastic. It's really cool.
And we really appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate both of you. I love being with you, and I just want to go back and watch our very first show together. We have to
I'm not sure if you want to watch the first show. So.
I think we do. But it's just such an honor to be with both of you. And to our viewers at home, just in case you're tuning in for the very first time, what are you watching today? You're watching a very important show about how to plan for your perfect retirement. Retirement should be a time of your life where there's not stress, there's not worry, especially when it comes to designing an income plan and not that statement that comes out of the mailbox. We're talking about a true holistic written plan for your retirement years. And gentlemen, every week that we're together, you are so amazingly brilliant with just the knowledge that you share with our viewers at home. You really, truly are. One of the things I want to talk about a little bit today, if we could, a lot of people are delaying their retirement. Prashant, there was a study that came out recently. Let's talk a little bit about that. It was actually from the Alliance for Lifetime. What did you find out about that study?
What we found out is that people are gradually scaling into retirement as opposed to just flipping the switch from working to retirement. I think a big reason for that is, look, back in 20, 30 years ago, retirement used to be a three-legged stool, right? It used to be that you got a pension from either your employer or the federal government. You got Social Security, and all you had to worry about was just the smallest part of the retirement pie, which was your personal savings. The difference was, back in the day, you could make 13, 14, 15% on your personal savings safely by just putting it at the bank when interest rates were super high. But one thing that we found is that inflation has started to outpace wages.
Yes.
And as a result, there's been a huge way to how we have to think and plan for retirement. Instead of retirement being a three-legged stool, that burden of responsibility has shifted when pensions started to go away.
Sure.
Right. So I have a stat here. More than 4.1 million Americans will be turning the age of 65 each year from now through 2027, which means 11,200 people per day are scaling into retirement.
Wow.
And with pensions starting to go away, it begs the question, where is my income going to come from? Previously, we had the security of having a paycheck that comes in every year for the rest of our lifetime. When we passed away, maybe we got to pass that paycheck on to our spouse. But with pensions starting to go away, you're now required to use more of your own personal savings to figure out a way to recreate your own pension in retirement. So I think that's why people are feeling like they have to work longer. It's because they're living longer and they're wanting to save more money because, quite frankly, they need to in order to live the way that they want to and recreate that paycheck.
Sure, that makes sense. And Ozzy, we've talked about this in another episode, that when people are coming in for the very first time to sit with you gentlemen, they want to know if they can retire, and if so, how much do they need to retire? So let's talk about that process just a little bit, because like I mentioned, it's not that statement that people get out of the mailbox. We're talking about designing a holistic retirement plan. Talk about the pieces just a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about this, and I'm not sure if you do remember, like several years ago, back in the days, there was like commercials that people walking around with the the numbers.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but we have to think about why that commercial is disappeared, because like everyone thinks it differently, and it's not about that how much money you're going to have. It's about how much income it's going to generate you to live the life that you wanted to live. So I don't find that to be any number is perfect number, because everyone's situation is different.
It's true.
Like there is a lady came in a couple of weeks ago, and we sit down and I was talking to her, and she said, I can't wait to get the $3 million. And I'm like, why you are trying to get the $3 million? Because I need to take income from that $3 million, and that's the number I think I need. Long story short, we work on the numbers and, we backtracked everything. It turned out she can live with the $3 million in a very comfortable life, and she doesn't have to wait. And guess what? She's retiring next month.
Oh my goodness. Now, what did that feel like when you told her that
It's
she
amazing.
could? Yeah.
It's just an amazing feeling.
That is wonderful. Well, Prashant, I was going to ask you about that as well, because obviously the study is about people that are delaying retirement. But what does it feel like when your office can actually tell people you're okay to retire today? You've done a great job. Everything looks phenomenal.
It's very fulfilling, because I think what a lot of people don't really have a true understanding of is ways to actually recreate that paycheck that they're actually seeking. So many times, like this is a great example, we think that we're going to need $3 million to retire, but we found that with 2.2, we can actually make the retirement dream come true without having to spend the additional years waiting for our money to grow to that $3 million number in that particular case. So here's where we have to start. Look, everyone's a little bit different. A great place to start is to understand truly how much income you're going to need to live your most fulfilling lifestyle. For some people, it may be $5,000 a month. For some people, it might be $10,000 or $15,000 a month. That's where everybody is a little bit different. But the way to go about it is to start with a target income. If I need $8,000 a month after taxes and inflation to live, the second thing I'm going to do is total up all of my sources of reliable income. Think about things like Social Security. If you are fortunate enough to have earned a pension, that's going to be a source of reliable income. So all we do is we total up the reliable income, compare it to the target, and if there is a gap, we use enough of your money from your portfolio, we protect that money to close that income gap. And that's exactly what Oz was just talking about. Is we might be able to say, hey, you have $2.2 million and we have to close a gap of $6,000 a month in our income. Maybe we can protect $1 million into a safe bucket and guarantee that $6,000 a month after tax that we need for the rest of our lifetime. And that's how we think about retirement planning. I think advisors, Cynthia, have a really bad habit of making things way too complicated. Retirement planning isn't nearly as complicated as it seems. It's just about figuring out how much income you're going to need, when you're going to need it, and how you're going to use your retirement savings to get you to that income goal. Yes, we have to talk about risk tolerance and capacity and taxation, but it all starts with income. If you haven't identified whether or not your income plan has a gap in it, the best thing you can do is pick up the phone and give us a call. It's 833-308-5200. That's 833-308-5200. Now, when you pick up the phone and call us, here's what will happen. Number one, have your calendar out in front of you. Our operators are standing by, and they will schedule you for a free appointment with our team of specialists at one of our office locations. We have offices in Ellicott City, Annapolis as well. We do take appointments virtually as well. And then we're going to help you design that Retire Smart roadmap. We'll put together an income for life plan for you, help you map out that income, determine whether or not there's an income gap, and show you how to solve that income gap if you do have one. It all starts with that phone call, 833-308-5200.
Prashant, thank you so much. And Ozzy, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 833-308-5200. And if you're in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, have I saved enough to retire? Can I retire comfortably? And if the answer is you're not sure, this is the perfect opportunity for you to call into that number, 833-308-5200. Claim your spot today. It is completely complimentary. If you don't have a pen handy, you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Elite Income Advisors landing page, and you can claim your spot accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on this 100th episode of Retire Smart Maryland, but don't go anywhere. I want to talk a little bit more in detail. Prashant mentioned buckets of money. What does that mean? We're going to dive in when we return.
My philosophy is that losses hurt more than gains help. And it's all about creating a strong foundation. And in my opinion, that foundation is the foundation of having income that you can always depend on.
Most of the financial advisors focus on the accumulation phase because that's the one who brings most of the revenue to the firm.
I believe that the strongest retirement plans are created with creating a solid foundation for where your income is going to come from, and then building the rest of the plan in as low risk of a way as possible.
That's why it makes us slightly different than other firms, that we focus on the distribution side, not the accumulation side. Distribution side is the most important part of the time because you're retired and you want to make sure you have all the income coming in.
While you're working, you're always just juggling money coming in and money going out. And when you retire, that doesn't really change. It's still very much about income coming in and expenses going out. What changes is where that income is actually going to come from. What we focus on is making sure that we can walk somebody from A to Z through their income, their investments, their insurance, their estate planning, their tax planning, and really wrap it all together in an easy to understand way that truly is focused on educating.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Maryland. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Prashant Sabapathy and Ozzy Coolhagel of Elite Income Advisors. And that's the 100th time I've had the opportunity to say that. I love it. I love it. So obviously in the first segment, we talked about those buckets of money. You mentioned one bucket, but let's break that down in case someone's watching for the first time. Why is it important to have different buckets of money, and what do they comprise of?
I think your money should have purpose behind it. You should have different buckets that are designed to do different things. Give you a great example. Let's say I have $1.2 million. And by the way, this is real life example. Somebody came into the office, had $1.2 million, and they were planning on following that 4% rule, right? So that means off their $1.2 million, they were going to withdraw roughly about $48,000 a year off of that money in order to create their retirement paycheck. And one of the things that we were able to do is say, you know what, instead of using all $1.2 million to create the $48,000 a year that you need, what if we could show you a way to just use about $500,000 of the $1.2 million? What do you think about that? And the way, and they loved it, obviously. And the way that we were able to do that is instead of keeping the $1.2 million all in one red bucket or risk bucket of money, we took $500,000 and shifted it over into what we call a green bucket, a safe bucket of money. And what we're able to do is use one of these newer fixed indexed annuity accounts, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. You know, there's a lot of speculation about annuities out there.
Right.
We don't shy away from anything on this show. The newer types of annuities allow you a way to kind of create a privatized pension. We took $500,000, and in 5 years' time, when this person retires, it's going to provide them the $48,000 a year of income that they actually wanted to have. But the beauty of it is that we only used $500,000. The other $700,000 we can leave in the market, allow it to be untouched, which means that we have the opportunity to grow that money into a better legacy plan. And so this is the power of using different buckets of money to accomplish different things. And what that does, I think, is it provides peace of mind.
It does.
And when you have peace of mind in retirement, it allows you to go live life in the most fulfilling way possible. That is the power of bucketing your money in retirement.
And I love that, because what happens, Ozzy, if you have a husband and a wife and they have totally different perspectives on how much risk they should be taking, what they should be doing for their safety, if you will. But if you have those different buckets, isn't it easy, because then people can actually do everything they want to do, and as long as they know that their basic needs are being covered, it gives you more flexibility to enjoy different things in life, and everybody wins?
Well, I hope everybody wins because most of the time, as you know, husband and wife, they have different opinions about the, you know, the risk. And that's the whole thing. Goes back to what Prashant says is, if we can, you know, take care of the income needs that we need at our retirement, and as long as we know that money is going to come in a guaranteed, you know, method, then we don't have to worry about the market so much. And that's also helps the, you know, the couples, that they don't need to fight about how much risk they're going to take, because like you say, everyone's opinion is different. My wife is, you know, she likes to not invest any money, and I like to invest, you know, money in different places. But, you know, as long as our income is being met, we don't have to worry about how much risk we are taking. Right?
In fact, I would argue that when you know exactly where the income is going to come from, it actually empowers you to take more risk.
Yes.
Oftentimes, the key to being able to get a higher rate of return is to take more risk. The issue is you can't take that risk if you have uncertainty surrounding your income. So as you can see, all this stuff works together in a coordinated way. It's not about taking 100% of your money and making it totally safe. I think that for most people, that is the incorrect way of planning. I also don't think that it's correct to keep 100% of your money in the stock market, which at any point in time could lose 20, 30, or 40% and jeopardize your retirement paycheck. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've sat down with people and I asked them straight up, I just asked them, if you lose 20 or 30% of your $1 million, how will it impact your retirement lifestyle? And they oftentimes say, well, I'll have to do one of really two or three things. Number one, I'll have to work longer. Well, to me, that doesn't make any sense. If we want to retire, then we want to retire. We don't want to have to work longer.
You don't want to go back to work.
You don't want to go back to work. And then number two, I've had people literally say to me, oh, I'll just adjust my standard of living. And, we always say we're not the best fit for every single person that comes in to visit. Okay, when we do this show, it's not designed to turn every single person into a client.
Right.
But what it is designed to do is make sure that we're working with people who we're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for us. The folks that are a good fit for us and we're a good fit for them, those are the folks that say, you know what, I worked 30 or 40 years to get to this point of my life. And when I get there, I want to do things the way that I want to do them.
Absolutely.
Okay, this idea of going back to work because the market crashed or reducing my standard of living, that's just not the way that we operate. Okay, It's just not. And so when you come in to visit with us, when you have that income for life plan in place, we'll show you how bucketing your money can allow you to increase your retirement income in a more predictable, guaranteed type of way so that you can take the risk that you want to take with the rest of your money to grow the way that you want it to. It starts with a phone call, folks. That phone number, 833-308-5200. You can also scan this QR code and book that free appointment with our team of retirement distribution specialists at Elite Income Advisors. Now, here's what's going to happen. When you dial that number, our operators are standing by. They have our calendar for the next 2 weeks here, and they'll be able to get you into the office. When you come in to visit with us, there is no obligation. At any point in the process, you can tell us, hey, I don't think you're the best fit for us, and we will go our separate ways. No hard feelings. But for those of you who do go through the process, we will help you map out that retirement income. We will put together a customized bucketing plan for you so we can show you what types of buckets you should have to maximize your retirement income. We will also talk about how the threat of rising taxes could erode your income as well. If you're not going through that process with your current advisor, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer who's just not sure about where you stand, pick up the phone, dial that phone number right now, 833-308-5200.
Prashant, thank you so much. And Ozzy, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen, 833-308-5200. You've worked your entire life to get to the retirement years, and you deserve to have peace of mind in your retirement. If you're listening to things for the very first time today and you're realizing maybe you're not sure where you stand, this is the perfect opportunity to claim your complimentary spot today. All you have to do is call in 833-308-5200, or if you don't have your pen handy, go ahead, grab your smartphone. You can click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Elite Income Advisors, and you can claim your spot accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but when we come back, I want to talk to Ozer and Prashant about the importance of working with the right type of advisor as you're entering the retirement years. Is there a difference? You're going to see why when we return.
When interest rates are low, you might be able to refinance your home, your car, even your credit card. When interest rates go up, it may make sense to refinance your retirement. Higher interest rates could provide income opportunities you may not be aware of. So what works for your portfolio during low interest rates may not work for you when interest rates are high. Find out if a retirement refi could work for you. Call today for your complimentary Refi Your Retirement review.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Maryland. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Prashant Sabapathy and Ozzy Coolhagel of Elite Income Advisors. We're talking all about your plan for retirement. So, gentlemen, I have to ask you, Ozzy, is it important to work with someone who specializes in the distribution phase of life as you're getting to the retirement years? Because so often we hear people say that they've had the same advisor that they've worked with for, let's say, 40 years. But what if they specialize more in the accumulation phase when most of us are working and we're just saving? And what happens when that transition occurs?
Most of the time, actually, this question has been asked to Prashant because, he's a really good analogy to answer in this. But when you are working, at the, working life, 30, 40 years, you accumulate the money. And all these advisors, they are helping you to accumulate the money, grow it as much as possible. But with all due respect, that advisors know what they're doing, but they're not really focusing on the distribution phase of your lifetime. Right now, you work, you're done, and now you have to distribute money. And you need to go talk to someone is more focusing on the income side of the money that you accumulated. Like, Prashant always says that, hey, if you need to go to see a cardiologist, you have to go see a cardiologist. You're not going to go see a brain doctor to get a opinion about
on a heart problem.
It's true.
Exactly. And so same type of thing. I think that when you get to retirement, you only have a finite amount of resources left. When you stop working and the paychecks stop coming in, you lose the potential to start saving money. In fact, you go the opposite way. You're pulling money out of your retirement accounts. And by the way, when it's gone, right? And so you only really get one shot to get it right. One thing I always say is the scariest day of a retiree's lifetime is not the day that they run out of money. It's actually the day that they realize that they're going to run out of money and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. You don't want to be in a position where you realize that you're going to run out of money one day and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's why working with a specialist is so important. So what is a distribution specialist, right? So I always say we don't work with too many people who are still establishing wealth. Most of our clients have already gotten to that phase where they've established wealth, and it's more important for them to protect it, generate a paycheck from it, and then transfer it to their heirs and their beneficiaries and their charities and organizations in the most tax efficient way possible. And like 95% of what we do every single day falls into how we distribute wealth and transfer wealth tax efficiently. That's what working with a specialist is all about.
Well, on that same vein of getting a medical diagnosis, let's talk a little bit about second opinions overall, because why is that important? If someone's in the audience today and they're thinking, well, you know what, my advisor, he's doing okay. Why is it important, Prashant, to get a second opinion?
Let me ask you this, okay? You go and see a doctor, and doc, my knee hurts. Let me take an x-ray. Oh, Cynthia, I think you need surgery. Who are you going to get the second opinion from? Probably a different specialist, right?
Exactly.
Here's what happens in the financial industry. We get a diagnosis from our advisor. We go to one of our seminars and you hear something that's intriguing. And then you come in, visit with us. We put a retirement plan together. And then you know what they do to get the second opinion or the third opinion? They go back to the guy that gave you the first opinion to begin with. Does that seem like a smart way to do things?
That's crazy.
Why are people getting second opinions from the people that gave them the first opinion to begin with?
And especially if it's not the right one.
Exactly.
So here's what a second opinion should look like. It should be an independent fiduciary analysis of your retirement plan, okay, without any bias, to help you map out your income, to talk about your risk capacity, to talk about taxation and how the threat of rising taxes will absolutely erode your retirement income and your legacy plan, okay? We can talk about this probably in a different show. I mean, we have plenty of stuff to talk about, but I read this the other day that baby boomers have $78.1 trillion of wealth amassed. At some point, what will happen is we will see the biggest wealth transfer in history go from baby boomers to Gen X to millennials and thereon. And when those people inherit that money, what is going to happen? Somebody's going to get paid. And you know who it's going to be? It's going to be the IRS.
Uncle Sam.
And so what can we do proactively to make sure that that wealth transfer is an efficient wealth transfer. And they're like, these are all the things that you need to talk about. If your advisor, folks, has not talked to you about how to generate income, how to deal with rising taxes, how to transfer your wealth efficiently, it may be time for that second opinion. And by the way, go get the second opinion from a specialist. Don't get the second opinion from the person that gave you the first opinion to begin with.
Ozzy, I have to ask you, obviously, when someone comes into the office for the very first time, how long is that first consultation, in case someone right now is wondering if they should be picking up the phone?
Yeah, sure. When you come to our office, we usually spend somewhere between 40 to 50 minutes as a first consultation, and that's, complimentary free. We try to get to know each other. Maybe we are not the right advisor that, who you're looking for. We want to make sure that we get enough information from you to put together some kind of analysis so we can show it in the next appointment. But we usually take about 40 to 50 minutes with each prospect.
Yeah, that's right. And when you come in, it's really just a conversation. You're welcome to ask us as many questions as you would like. We're going to interview you, make sure that you're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you. Now, most of the people that do come in, they do end up working with us. But when you come in to visit, you're not obligated to do so. All you're there to do is get a comprehensive look at everything that we are doing and everything that you're doing to make sure that you are on the right track. It's funny. People always come into our office, Cynthia, and on every one of our conference room tables, we have these little crystal swans on the tables. And people always ask me, what does the crystal swan represent? And to me, the crystal swan represents, SWAN, is sleep well at night. And so for our 100th episode, Cynthia, you have helped our clients sleep well at night. And so this one is a gift for you. You can pass that along to her.
It is absolutely
and that is
beautiful.
Our way of saying thank you for 100 episodes
my gosh.
from Ozzy, myself, Nick, Mike, our team, and our great clients. Last opportunity, folks, for you to put that plan in place to sleep well at night. 833-308-5200, or you can scan that QR code that you see on your screen. Come on in, have that retirement conversation, put together your Retire Smart roadmap, income for life plan, risk analysis, Social Security optimization, and a tax planning conversation. 833-308-5200.
Sleep well at night.
Thank you so much. Ozzy, thank you. To the viewers at home, I can't really close the show because I'm going to start crying today. Thank you for being on the 100th episode with us. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today. Take care now.